Hello, friends. How are we doing tonight? Oh, there's some people. Hello, hello. Welcome to the May 2026 Moments and Memories Bundle Launch Party. That's a mouthful. Hello, hello. We're just going to give everyone just a minute to get situated. I didn't put a reminder out about tonight, so likely some people forgot that I was going live at 7:30. That's okay. I almost forgot today too. I was telling Shelby today that, wouldn't it be something if it was a really nice day, my husband and I often go out for a bike ride after dinner. Could you imagine if I was out on my bike and all of a sudden I'm getting messages from Shelby and Amanda and people saying, how come you're not live? Because, you make these plans and then all these things happen throughout the day. And then, you could easily forget. But I didn't forget. I dusted off my desk. It was getting dusty. So I got it all cleaned up and I'm ready to go. Okay, so we're going to dive in and we're going to talk about the May 2026 bundle. So can you believe that we are like midway through June? That's half the year. And I'm launching the May page. So like, where is the year gone? How are you guys doing with getting your pages done, or are you collecting the bundles and not and not making them yet? I'm interested to hear. I'm very thankful that I have this deadline, that I have to actually show you my finished page, because otherwise I'm thinking I would be collecting the bundles. But yeah, I have like 5 pages done for this year's album. I should grab my album and we should recap. I have it close by. I do like to look at it. All up to date. Woohoo, Michelle. Good for you. And Megan. Justine says, I've had a move and renovations. Well, don't you hate when like real life stuff gets in the way? Shelby is collecting. Chris is caught up to March. Carolyn is collecting, but ever optimistic to get them done. Woohoo. Collecting. So we have about a 50-50 split. Okay, so those of you watching this video, I'm going to challenge you. Next month when we meet, I'd like to see those that are collecting to dive in and do a page. Just carve out some time. Just make it. Let the dishes sit. Who cares if the house is dirty? It just doesn't matter. I have learned to make a list and do the things that are important, and the rest will be there. But carve out a little bit of time. If you get started, you're going to be grateful. This is the bundle, by the way. We're going to talk about that in a minute. I'm going to show you what you can do in a short period of time. I'm not sure I can open this. Just let me slide my light back. Watch, I'll probably hit everything here. Just slide that back. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to slide my album on. So this is where we're going to put our title page at the end of the year. So you want to be ready for that. So this is our January page. So there's January. It's all done and in my album. See, I even have them in my album, which is exciting. So Carolyn says challenge expected. Okay, I'm going to check in with you, Carolyn. Come on, you can do it. Yeah, you guys are doing good. Susan Wagler's collecting. And Susan Tidd has up to June 2024 done. You don't have to be in this year. That's okay, as long as you're working away. It is very, very important. You will be so excited if you just get started. And this is February. So my February page, I know you can't see the whole thing all at once, but this is February. Loved February. And March is here. It's funny. This is, us just talking about spring. That's the one where I made my own picket fence. That was a fun thing to do. And then April. Oh, I loved April. We still have a handful of the April pages left. So if you didn't get April was a great one. And I know not everybody does all the months. Like they just kind of pick up the pages that they like. So there's that too, but April was good. And then I'm going to show you May in just a moment here. And then we're on to June, July, and August, which are my favorite months to do because I love doing summer. Although this one's kind of summery too. March was a great one. I did get my daughter's wedding pages done. Well, that's good too. Oh, you guys liked April, eh? I really liked April. I like them all really. Okay, so let's show you the bundle before we show you the pages. We're doing it backwards. Well, you'll get a little sneak peek in my photo here, but let's open this up. So we've got, well, let's turn the photo over. We're working with the Simple Stories Pink Lemonade collection this month. I loved this collection. So you're going to get 6x8 pad. You're going to get half a pad. So you're going to get one sheet of all the patterns to work with. Now we barely make a dent in this pad. Like it's, but I love having the variety of papers to work with. So that's a good thing. You're going to get the icon stickers. So it's a 6x12. It's actually a 12x12 piece that's folded in half, and then you can tear it apart. But you get all of these stickers, which again, we're going to use some. You're going to get a sheet of white cardstock, and you're going to get a sheet of this paper here. And this is a double-sided paper, and it is from 49 & Market from the Beach Vibes collection. So we're using that paper as well. So that is your bundle. And then, of course, you're going to get a 12x12, not a 12x12. You're going to get a photo of the layout, which I'm not going to show you. Okay, and then here's your pages this month. So I'm going to start with the main page. Here it is. It's May. So I'm going to hold it up a little bit closer because, oh, that's not the main page. I'm sorry. This is the main page. So this time we are going to create our own background down here. I loved this technique. It was really fun to do. So we're going to do a little ink smooshing, which we haven't done for a while. And then we're going to add some stamping on top and some splattering. And then you're going to kind of create an ink smooshed background down here. And then you're going to use that large 12x12 sheet of paper that I showed you from the Beach Vibes collection. And then you're going to add in some of the pattern paper down here. And then you're going to create a whole collage of pattern papers and photos up here. And that's stickers and so on. Now, I went a little easy on you guys with the stitching. I did faux stitching, not my choice. I would definitely like to stitch, but I wanted to show people who don't love stitching how you can adapt it and do that. So we're going to do some faux stitching this time around. Okay, so that is not stitched on. It's just done with a ruler and a pen. So that is cool. We're going to distress edges. We're going to do a little stamping. So that's the main page. And then here is the calendar side of the page. And we're going to bring that ink smooshing over to this side. And then kind of use a similar effect to this on a smaller scale. We're going to cluster up a bunch of stickers and add some stamping to that as well. And then you can see that my photos are starting to switch to more summery / outdoor kind of feel, which is great. I love that. So funny story though, when I was looking through my photos, some of these were throughout May, and my daughter always takes her kids to their local splash pad. And when she tells me she's going in May, I'm like, they're going to be frozen. Like the water's not heated, and then they get cold and it's usually windy. And I'm like, nope, that's just dumb. So great photos. 2 days after these photos were taken, I have a picture of myself with a toque on. Like it took a while to warm up last year. And that's when I do my photos are from the previous year. So my photos are from 2025. And it did take a while to warm up last year. So I have a picture of me with my toque. I didn't think that photo would work very well for this paper spread. So I left that out. But yeah, so there's your page or set of pages. Your inspiration for this month's bundle. It's really, really fun to put together. Lots of really cute techniques. There's definitely room for more photos if you want to add more sort of down here or bring your photos down. I wanted to leave this kind of open, but you can certainly do that. I know some people do better with white space than others. So there's definitely room to bring photos down if you want to add more pictures for sure. But I kept it with the 3 main photos of the splash pad. So that's what I came up with. So let's talk about add-ons. It's not too bad this month. Oops, where's my list? I brought it in here. Uh-oh. Oh, I buried it. Here it is. Okay. So obviously the May die cut and the calendar page are pretty standard add-ons. If you want to do that calendar side of your layout, make sure you pick up a page to do that. And then I am offering the May die cut in 2 different colors this month. I did pink because Olivia, my granddaughter, was the main focus of the page, and she does have a lot of pink on it. I chose to use pink as the paper in the background here. You have options when you're creating your page to downplay the pink. So you might want to choose a different color. And I thought the yellow was neutral. It would go with everything. And it does kind of match the technique that we're going to do down here. So it works really nicely. So you can choose either pink or yellow for your May die cut. We have some of both. And then there's your calendar page. And then next on the list, some of the standard things that we use each month, the sanding block. If you like to sand your photos, you can see that I do that a lot. I think, especially when you're collaging your photos like this or layering them, it sort of defines each one of the photos. And it also sets them off from the background as well, without having to matte them. Now, if you want to matte your photos, you can certainly do that. But I feel like sanding the edges is a great technique too. And it kind of mimics the stickers because they have a little bit of a white border around them as well. And so then now your photos do. And I've even sanded this pink paper. I'll hold it up there so you can kind of see. Can you see the sanded edge on that? So you can sand pattern papers as well, especially if they have a white core. Because that way you can kind of accentuate that when you do your sanding. So Michelle's saying, will you be putting the cardstock colors with the rest of the items for this month? So we did, Shelby, I didn't look at the shopping section before I went live. I know she put the yellow and the pink that we used in our title, the colors that we used for that in there. I'm not sure that we pulled any other colors out to match the line, but we can do that and we can add it. I don't know if they're there now because I didn't really discuss that with Shelby ahead of time. Pink is there, but we are almost out of the yellow. Okay, that's Buttercup. Okay, we can add, Shelby, we can add, just let me double check here. We have our Simple Stories order that has arrived, but I have, let me just see here. You can add 20 sheets of Buttercup to inventory because I have it here in my room that I can add to the store downstairs. So that's not a problem. You know what? I can pull out my swatches. Let's do this together because Shelby can quickly add the colors to the shopping section while we're doing this. And then when you place your orders, you can do it. So I would say, let's pick one of the pattern papers. So this is a good one to pick. This has a lot of the colors in it. So if you wanted to pull in, oops, I just hit the camera. Sorry. Yes. If you wanted to pull in this darker color, it could be, it could be pink. No, it's more, yeah, I don't know if I would go with tomato though. I'm just looking to see. Oh, you know what? Hold on, Shelby. I'm going to just go on and see if we look up something here. Hold on. Because we often link. I can't talk and type at the same time. Tomato is the color? Okay, good. So I want to just pick something here. Yes. So these are the colors I want you to add. I want you to add coral, the Color Vibe green, and Color Vibe tomato. Yes. I would say, yes, I would, and the, like they're saying dandelion. I thought that was a bit too dark. We went with buttercup instead. So I would add coral, the green, and the tomato, and then we've already got bubblegum and dandelion in, or buttercup in there, so that should be good. Okay, problem solved. So yes, Michelle, we will add those in there. I don't see the yellow and the pink yet. Okay, pink should be there. But you might have to refresh your screen, and sometimes it takes a second to show up in the section once we make the change. So by the time I'm done blabbling here, it should be there. I kind of forgot to do that. Okay, so sanding block. You'll want something, if you want to do the ink splattering. So I did do some splattering in the color of ink that we're going to be using here, but I also did black. And I've been using this black acrylic speckle a lot more often now than the Winsor & Newton. The Winsor & Newton is great. So if you have that, that's perfect. If you want to buy that, it's great too. I just like how easy this bottle is to use. You can just squeeze out one drop and then the cleanup is easy and everything. So I really like this. So that's what I used for that. And then you'll need brushes for splattering. So we always use the same brushes. It's the Yasutomo brushes. They come in a set. There's different widths on the top like this, different thicknesses. So it's a great set to have on hand, especially for splattering. I mean, I wouldn't say they're overly professional brushes. So like for watercoloring and stuff, I'm sure you can get away with them, but I'm sure there's better brushes out there for that. But for splattering, I love the variety of the tips so that you can get different sizes of splatter. Foam adhesive. So we talk a lot about foam adhesive in the videos and how we all love these big rolls. If you have not picked any up yet, we highly, highly recommend. All the foam rolls of adhesive that we sell are great. I'm currently using Altenew for myself. They have a variety of thicknesses and widths this way too. So the nice part about it is rather than having to use the little foam squares or foam circles and fill in all the spaces, you can customize the sizes that you need with this foam adhesive. And I do like to pop things up. Like, you know, this is popped up, this is popped up, but some things are flat on the background as well. So I highly recommend some good foam adhesive because it makes a real big difference on your pages. I'm even popping up photos. Like, I don't know if you can tell, but this is popped up. This top one here, it's on top of these two. And so I popped this up and it really gives lots of dimension. And I'm not sure the camera really picks that up. I try to show you the different things, but it creates shadows and it's just a really cool effect. And I'm really loving this look lately. Like I do it a lot on this side of the page too, where photos are overlapped and like this one's popped up and this one's popped up. So is this one. And then the rest are kind of flat and they're kind of all overlapping. And it really, really looks pretty amazing in person. So I love that. This time I did use an edge distressor. So a little tool like this. And I did distress the edges of some of my papers. So if I hold it up really close, can you see how it's kind of distressed? I don't go wild and crazy and do big rips and everything in it, but it does add some nice texture to the page as well. So I do use an edge distressor. We're going to be making our own smooshers. I haven't used this for a while. So if you don't have one of these, you're going to want to get one of my favorite cloths. They're the perfect size to make these smooshers. So here is the cloth. Mine is used. But there's one inside here. And then I leave this on the side of my desk. And whenever I want to create a smooshed background, this is what I use now. I forget where I saw Kathy Zielski demonstrate it. She got the idea from somebody else, but it's brilliant. It's totally changed the way I do a smooshed background. And it's less messy, and I'll demonstrate how I do it, but you'll need kind of one of these cloths. It's the perfect size and thickness, so it works really good. So that is another thing. And then any kind of clear sequins or gems. I know Shelby put some in the shopping section. I put them in the centers of the flowers. And you'll notice them on this page too. So I like the neutral colors. Of course, you can use colors if you want to. A black pen and a ruler, and that's for the faux stitching. And then I did add enamel dots to my page. So you'll see them in little clusters around the page. They're not included in your bundle, and it's not a new product. I will say that my plan over the next little while is to do some live videos on different ways to use enamel dots. I think a lot of us collect them and we don't use them, or we use them just like this, you know, plain, obvious ways. There's lots of really great ideas for enamel dots, and that is on my list of things to educate you. So we will be bringing in some enamel dots from Altenew. They have some beautiful palettes available, and we're going to be working on how to use those as well. So you can look forward to that. Stamps and dies. So you'll notice that I have some stamped images on my page. So I've got the sunglasses here again. I've got the speech bubble, and I've got these flowers in the background. And I didn't color them. I just left them black and white. Those are from a little stamp set from Waffle Flower. Ugh, sorry. And it is called Mom and Dad. And this came out with their Mom and Dad release a couple months back now. But it has some really cool icons in it, and I really liked it. This flower is what I used to create the stamping that I did on both pages. And then I also die cut out the flower, the speech bubble, the sunglasses for accents on the pages as well. So it's a fun little set to have on hand. And in addition to that, I love these little banners or awards, the number one mom, number one dad. I think they'll be really useful. They have a very tiny set of glasses. I love the silhouette butterflies. I think those would be really cool to use on pages. And yeah, then there's Mother's Day and Father's Day things that you can use for other stuff. And then there is matching dies for most of the icons as well. So that allowed me to cut them out, and I love how they turned out. So that's the little set that I used. And then I did create my own title. The best is a sticker that comes on the sticker sheet. So you can make this the best of whatever you want. If you have something that you can use to create words. And I've used these before. You might already have them. We use them for our National Scrapbook Day inspiration as well. It is the Peppermint Kisses thickers. So there is a full set of black and a full set of gold on here. You can see I haven't used much of the gold, but I love these. I love the font, and it allows you to personalize things really easily. So you'll see me pulling these out often. I've used them on previous pages, and I will use them on future pages as well. So if you haven't picked up those yet, I highly recommend. They go a long way, and it's really fun to be able to personalize your pages. So originally I had the word summer here, and then I thought, well, it's only May. I don't think I want to use summer yet. So I pulled that off, and then I came up with memories. But you can be very specific depending on what photos you use. But I kept my title kind of generic. And then the ink that I used was the, I used two colors, the Scattered Straw and Fossilized Amber Distress Oxide ink. Now you can use regular distress ink, and you can also use re-inkers to do the smooshing part. The stamping part, you'll need some kind of an ink pad. But whether you have oxide or whether you have distress, and if you just want it for the smooshing part, you can get the re-inkers to do that part as well. So we put all of those options in the shopping section. So that is it for add-ons for the bundle, if you want to kind of do what I'm doing. So now we're going to go over a few measurements, mainly for this page. So the green paper in your kit, this piece here, you're going to want to cut it down. The white paper is going to be your background. And then the green paper, you want to narrow the width of it to 10 1/4 inches. Now, if you want, you can go 10 1/4 by 10 1/4, and then you can rip this part, or you can just cut it by 10 1/4 this way, and then rip off whatever you don't want to use. However you feel is easiest for you. Again, you want your rip to sort of stop about the same distance as the top. So if you want to cut 10 1/4 by 10 1/4 and then do your ripping that way down into this corner, if that helps you judge better, then by all means go ahead and do that. And what you're going to do once you cut that piece to 10 1/4, you're going to measure, let me get my ruler out. I have a ruler here. Oh, I need the other one. So you're going to measure up, like from the bottom of your page, you're up about 5 inches. Okay. But again, there is about 3/4 of an inch or so of white space before that paper would start. But from the bottom of your page up, you're about 5 1/4 inches. And that's where you're going to start ripping, and you're going to tear down. Now, when you're ripping paper, do you see how that white is exposed? You have to be mindful of that when you are tearing your paper, because here you can see this is this side of the paper, the same green, because on the other side there's a darker green. There's no white edge on this. So you have to tear it the right way. So the piece that you're keeping is the piece that you want to, so this, let's pretend that this piece up here is the part I'm going to keep, and I'm tearing off the bottom. So you're going to be tearing off, the piece you're tearing off is going to expose the white edge on the piece you're keeping. That's what you want to make sure you're doing. Because if you don't tear it the right way, when you're done, you're going to be forced to use the dark green side, which wouldn't be the end of the world. But if you want to make sure you're doing it correctly, make sure that you are, the piece you're removing is the piece that you are tearing away if you're working from left to right. Okay, and that's going to expose that white edge on the piece that you're keeping. And when I rip, I kind of do what I call like a guided rip. You know, I'm kind of holding my paper and I'm just sort of, you know, guiding it along. You don't want it to be straight, but you don't want it to be too crazy either. And you want to kind of guide that paper so you get that sort of nice angle that you're looking for. Okay, so that's kind of how you do that. And then the piece underneath, that is from the half paper pet. So let's look at that. So in here, you've got all these beautiful papers. And in here somewhere, there is this paper right here. So that's the back of the very front page. This is that grid paper. I love it. And it has all of these colors in it. So basically, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to tear a piece to go here. But this piece of paper is not long enough to do the whole piece. So you're going to tear it in sections. And that might sound scary, but it's actually really easy. So you're going to tear sections of it. And because it's a grid, when you put the paper underneath this screen and tuck it up there, and then you put the next piece in, you want to line up the grid so that it is straight. So see how my lines are still going straight? You don't want to tip your paper like this. Well, I mean, you can. I didn't like the way that looked. I thought the grid should go straight up and down. So I tore 1, 2, and 3 pieces. It's actually very easy to do. You just tear it, tuck it in, and then you tear another one and tuck it in. But make sure you're lining up those pieces. And you're not using a lot of the paper. So you've got a full 6x8 sheet to use. And you can just, if you have to tear several pieces, that's totally okay. You'll just line them up and that's that. And you just sort of tuck them in just so you have a little bit of that pattern paper showing. You can take it all the way down to the bottom if you want, but I kind of started in and finished leaving this kind of open and white space. So that's sort of how you do that background piece. So pretty easy. So remember, the width of your paper is 10 1/4 inches. Then so if you look at this background piece here, I'm going to talk about this piece. There are 2 florals. There's one in the back, and then you can see right here, there's another one that's overlapping that. Can you see that? And then there's the pink one. So there's actually 3 layers of paper there. Okay. So the top, I'm going to go from the back. The back piece is just straight floral. I'll find it right here. There we go. Is that the one? Yes. Because the other one has a grid. This one? No, that's not it. This one. So we're using this one, which is the very back page. So on the front of it is this. Now we are using something from here. Oh yes, this piece. So you're going to cut this, save this, and you're going to get your piece from here. Because I believe that's 4. Yes, 4 by 6. So that's what this is right here. So cut this off, save this, and this piece here, you're going to use the reverse, and that is going to measure 4 by 6. So that's your floral piece. And I get my note up here, 4 by 6. Okay. So that's the piece again. I'll just review that. It is the reverse of this page here, but you want to save this part. Okay, so don't cut into that. You're only going to use this, but you're going to use the reverse side. And when you cut that off, it should be 4 by 6. And it's going to go vertically on your page. Okay, and you're going to kind of tuck it up in the corner there. You can kind of see how much space there is around there with the green. Okay, that's the first floral. And then the next floral is with the grid. So that's the one that is further in here. Oh, it's the very front one. No, it's this one. Okay, so there's the floral with the grid. And this one on the reverse is the stripe. So on that one, you're going to cut a piece that measures 5.5 by 5.5. I didn't use any of the green stripe on my pages, so you don't have to worry about saving that if you're doing what I'm doing. And that piece kind of overlaps the other floral. I'm going to hold it up at the top so you can kind of see positioning. So again, you're leaving a little bit of space there and a little bit of space here. Okay, it's going to come all the way out here, all the way down here, and across. Okay, and then the top piece is the pink with the words. Okay, and that one. And this is where you have flexibility. If you don't want pink paper on your page, then pick something else because there's lots and lots of choices. This paper here, I cut to 5.5 by 5.5, and I layered that right over top. And that is where I put my photos. So I'm going to hold that part up a little closer so you can see what that looks like. So just look at the spacing. So you've got a little more space down here so you can see that nice floral there. A little bit more on this side. Kind of goes all the way up, and then you're only seeing a sliver of it at the top. And then same thing with that other floral. It kind of goes down here and up the middle, but you don't see that because it's the very bottom layer. And then the pink one goes over top of everything, and that's where I put my photos. Make sense? Does anyone have any questions? This is live, so this is when you're going to ask. If you're watching it on replay and you have questions, you have to email me. But if you are watching it live right now, you can ask questions. Now, when I say you can email me because you're watching it on replay, 4 years from now, I will not remember. The video will still be here for you to watch, but I won't remember what you're talking about. So yeah, there's that. So there is a benefit to kind of working on your pages a little bit sooner than 4 years from now. But I know it happens. I have stuff that in my stash that I haven't done, and it's from 4 years ago. So I'm right there with you. But I'm just telling you, my mind is like a sieve. It's replaced with other things. So nobody has any questions at all. Darn, I'm good at my job. I'm telling you everything just perfectly. Okay, so that's that. So that's all the measuring you really need to know about. Oh, here comes a question. Is the flower with the grid a different size? You have said they're both 5.5 by 5.5. That's correct. So again, they're offset. Oh, did I say that? I'm sorry. This. See, Michelle, you're so good. Yes, I messed that up. The floral with the grid is not 5.5 by 5.5. It is, let me get my marker. It is 5.5 this way, and it is 6 1/4. 6 1/4 long. Because if it was 5.5, it would be the same as the pink. Good catch. Good catch. Okay, so floral with the grid is 5.5 this way because you're offsetting it. So that's fine. It'll be the right width. I'll double check it, but I'm sure that's right. Yep, 5.5, and then 6 1/4 long. So Sylvia caught it too. Haha. Good listening, girls. So there we go. Corrected measurement, 5.5 by 6.25. We'll give you that floral with the grid. I just wrote it down wrong. I'm sorry. Okay, so that's that. And then on this side over here, you're going to have paper that's left over after you tear off this part. That is what you're going to use over here for the green. You're going to have to re-tear this edge, which is okay because you want white showing. And then you're going to tear a few more pieces of the grid paper to tuck in the top. So that's very easy. Same technique. You're just going to do it on this corner. And you're going to use the piece that you tear off from here. So you'll have lots of paper. Susan Titt, are your enamel dots a certain brand? They are not. I just randomly picked stuff. Some aren't even in packages, so I couldn't even tell you what they are. I just picked colors from my stash and added those. And you can replace those with gems or sequins or whatever you want. I liked the way the enamel dots looked, but we will have a nice variety of enamel dots coming your way in just a few weeks because we're going to be bringing in an assortment from Ulta New because I have some really good ideas that I want to share. So, okay, so that's that. Any other questions? I think I'm caught up so far. Okay, good. All right, so I think we covered mostly everything on this side. This is all stickers that you see here. So I'm going to pull out the sticker sheet here. We can just flip around. So you've got this nice banner sticker. That's the one that's up here. Okay, and I just popped it up with foam adhesive. And you want to really make sure when you're using your foam adhesive that you're really supporting these stickers. So there's a nice piece on behind all of these and then some smaller pieces behind the bow so that they don't flop down and stick to your page. You can also remove the stickiness from stickers using a powder tool if you want to do that. I never do that. I just support them nicely with foam stickers and it's totally fine. So that's the banner. This is the lemon, which is right here. Okay, and then this floral cluster is the one that's right here. And then I added some gems in the middle. And then these 3 flowers on there are from that stamp set. So I stamped out this flower and then die cut it out, just black and white, and I tucked them in behind. And I love how that looks. And then over here, we've got the pinwheel, which is right here. And then this happy is from here. This sticker is joined. I just cut it, and then I had the word happy. Okay, so I think that's everything. Oh, and then on this, the best is the sticker right here. And then there's the word making. So down here, you have a whole bunch of word stickers. I just cut the word making off of the making sweetness, just so I could use making the best. And then I used memories for the thickers. And then the speech bubble and the glasses are from that stamp set. So I think that covers all those. And then on this side of the page, the So Happy, the Good Life, and this sticker here, those are all part of this. Where did I get So Happy? Oh, it's yellow. Yep, So Happy. And the Good Life is here. And then the Sunshine Smiles and Happy Skies is the long one across the top. And then this piece here is from the patterned paper. Remember I told you not to use this part. So I fussy cut this piece out. Really easy to do. And then I just popped it up and I added the sticker that says The Good Life to fill in that space. And then down here, we have a cluster of stickers. So we have the bowl with the lemons, and we have the glass of lemonade. We have the bottle, which is right here. Okay, so those 3 are the main pieces. Just sort of stick them together. And then I added in the florals. And there's a single flower here too. Where did I get that? Right here. And then a heart. And then my favorite, again, oh, I just cut off things from this because that's my favorite things is all one sticker. So I just cut off that things part and it says my favorite. And then I added the glasses and the speech bubble from the stamp set. And then Shine Bright is also a sticker from on here too. So pretty cool, pretty easy to do. And that is everything on the layout. And then my photos, I collaged them ahead of time using my phone and print them out. And then I cut the picture apart. I actually just threw some in the garbage. Let me see. So here's one I didn't use. So here's a collaged print. So you can see I have this large photo at the top and then 3 smaller ones at the bottom. So then I just cut them apart and then I just arrange them how I want. Unfortunately, we didn't make the cut for this page. So I just got rid of those and just used the ones that I have here. My grandkids are the star of the show this time. They're on almost every page because we do lots with them. But okay, so let's demonstrate the smooshing because I haven't done that in a while. I'm going to just get a scrap piece of paper, get some cardstock, and then I'll show you how I smoosh. All right, so to smoosh is very easy. I'm just going to bring in a smaller glass board just so I don't get it all over my work surface because things can get out of control. Okay, so all you're going to do to smoosh is take your ink. And so what I did, I used these 2 colors. I used the lighter of the 2, so that's Scattered Straw, to do my ink smooshing. And then I stamped with the darker one. So that's how I got that sort of tone-on-tone look. You could get away with one color, but they might blend together a little bit too much when you do your stamping, and then you might not notice the difference as much. But I'm simply going to take my ink pad and smoosh it onto a non-porous surface. So I'm using a glass board. It's my favorite surface to work on. Very easy cleanup, and the boards are magnetic, so that comes with a whole other bunch of benefits. But you're going to smoosh some ink on, and then you're going to add some water. And that's where the mister comes in. So you're just going to simply dilute that a little bit. The more water you add, the more washed out your color is going to be, but you need enough water that it moves. Now, to make your smooshing tool, you're going to take the favorite cloth and you're going to kind of like put it into a sandwich baggie like this. Okay. And then you're going to tie it shut. And then you end up with this surface here that you can then pick up the ink and you can smoosh it onto your page. Now, the nice part is you can kind of control it a little more than just, using acetate or something like that to apply it. And you can use the whole surface, or you can just use like a tip. So if I want to just take that and add some smooshing. So you can see how specific you can be. And you want areas that have light color and then that dark color. So if you can, just let this air dry and those areas will darken up. So that would be an area comparable to this down here. See how I have, well, let's pull it up. See how that area is darker and then over here is lighter? That's what you want. So you want those areas that are going to, where the ink is going to pool. And even if you let it dry completely, and then you can go back in and add more layers of smooshing to get more texture and more blending. So it's a really fun technique. You can fill it in as much as you want, but that's it. That's what there is to smooshing. It's very, very easy. And like I said, this little makeshift tool is really cool. Now you can clean this with your alcohol spray. So all I'm going to do, whoops, I don't want to do that. All I'm going to do is just spray that on there and then have a few of these cloths on hand. And then you just wipe this off. And then you can go right in and use the next color if you're doing more than one color. Alcohol dries really fast, and then it's all ready to go for the next time you want to do it. So you don't have to make a smooshing tool each time you want to do it. You just make them. And you can make different size smooshing tools if you want as well. You can cut up the cloths and focus on a smaller area of the bag. But I find this works really well. I can just use a section of it if I want a smaller cloth, but that's how you do that. And then what you want to do, once this dries, it's not really going to give you the right effect here, but where's my brush? You want to take some of this ink and water, and you want to splatter on top of here as well, because the splatter is going to dry differently than your smooshing. And it gives you even more texture on top of that as well. So can you see that splattering that is building up on there now too? And that'll dry and then give you that, that texture. So, I mean, I am no mixed media artist. Like, it's not my thing. I don't like the mess. I don't like all the stuff that goes with it, but this I really do love. I can control it mostly. And it does give a very cool effect. So once this is dry, okay, I'm just going to quickly clean this up. So basically, if this was my glass mat, I'm just going to, you know, pick up most of it. And then I'm going to come in with my alcohol spray. Oops, not on there. And I'm going to do this. Now, our glass boards, I think, Shelby, correct me if I'm wrong. They should have a message on them now that in most cases, you can get free shipping on them. I can't say in every case because some people live remotely and in areas where shipping is a little higher. But we have been looking at this and we've got special. So the glass boards come already packaged. We don't remove them from that packaging because there's foam and everything in there. And that is what will keep it safe for shipping. We do, however, if you want to add other things to your order, we have now got some boxes that we can put those glass boards in their original packaging inside so that they stay safe while they're shipped. And in, like I said, in most situations, we can ship for free. There isn't a note, there should be a note on that product to contact us to get a quote for shipping, because then we can tell you right away if it's going to be free or not. And if it isn't free, it might be $5 or $6, depending on where you live, to ship it. And that is nothing. If you don't have one of these glass boards, guys, oh my gosh, like it is a game changer. And they do come in different sizes. This is just a smaller one. And I like this one if I'm doing ink smooshing, because then I can kind of keep the mess off my big work surface, but you can certainly do it on here without a problem. And this covers, like, you know, this is all I work on now is the glass. It's amazing. Anyways, so back to this. It's not completely dry. I'm kind of letting this dry on its own. You can hit it with a heat tool to dry it as well. But I'm letting those, see how this is getting darker here? And it's staying dark. And then some of the areas are lighter. I love it. So now what you're going to do, if you want to do the stamping, is you're going to grab that little stamp set or whatever you want to use. I mean, you might have something in your stash already that has a little flower in it, but I thought there were some pretty fun elements in this that would work for stuff. So I'm just going to grab a little stamping block. And if you don't have good stamping blocks, guys, definitely check out the Gina K ones. I love them. They have a grid on them, so it helps you line things up. It's got these beveled edges, so really nice to hang on to. And it's great for, small little stamps. They come in a bunch of different sizes. So now we're going to take the fossilized amber and we're just simply going to take this and we're going to stamp and then stamp off. So you're going to get some that are darker and some that are lighter. You can stamp off as many times as you want, as long as the ink kind of shows. And you're going to create that tone on tone type of pattern that will eventually kind of go along the edge of here. So what I would do for your page is get your papers cut out and with a pencil, kind of mark the areas that you want to smoosh within. Do your smooshing, let it dry, get your whole page assembled, and then you can go back in and add your stamping. If you want some of it to tuck underneath like this, see how the flower's coming out? Again, kind of get your papers in place, figure out where your edges are going to be, and then just make some pencil marks and then go ahead and do your stamping. But it's very forgiving. And then once that's all done, then you're going to come in with your black ink and you're going to splatter. So you can see I got a little bit of black splatter on there, and I splattered on here as well, but not the rest of the stuff. So just your background pieces, add your black splatter, and it makes such a big difference. And then over here, same thing. Okay, you're going to smoosh, you're going to stamp, and then before you get all your other elements on, you're going to splatter. And then you can go ahead and start building your page. But that's all there is to the ink smooshing, and this is really cool. Now, this is a card size piece. This is an A2 size panel. This would make a spectacular background for a card. I'm just saying, like, really cute. And then you can build your little scene on top of this. So ink smooshing isn't just for scrapbook layouts, it's for card making too. So if you are a card maker, try this out. Make a few panels. It's really fun. And you can add all kinds of, stamped elements and critters and all kinds of stuff to this. So it's a really fun technique. And I made it up myself. I didn't see it anywhere. I just thought, hey, what would happen if I ink smooshed? And then I'm thinking, okay, well, what can I put on it? Yeah, we can splatter. Well, we've done that before, but what else can I do? And then I thought, I wonder if I stamped. And ta-da, it turned out really good. So yeah, that's that. And then the faux stitching, which is what I did on this page here. Very, very easy to do. I'll use this one as a sample. I'm just going to dab this. Yeah, once you get down to the last little bit, you can kind of dab it, and then that will take away any moisture that's there. But let's say I want to add faux stitching to this page. What I recommend using is a clear ruler, because then you can place it on the outside edge. Now this one has lots of markings on it. Okay, it has like, can you see those dotted lines in the middle there? So that is 1/8 of an inch. So I can take this and line up those edges with the edge of my paper. And then I know my stitching is going to be straight. And you want a black marker. I'm using the Memento Duo marker, so I'm going to use the thinner tip. And I'm just simply going to draw dashed lines. It's that easy. So I'll do this one side and you can see. I think it's boring in comparison to real stitching, but I know all of you don't love stitching, and I thought I would do something a little different just to show you that you can still add the element of stitching without having to actually stitch. So you can see this is a bit far in for me, but it's nice and straight and even. And I could see through the ruler to make sure that I get it lined up properly. Because if you're going this way, I mean, you can go this way. Yep, that would work too. But I was going from the edge out. But I find this is the zero centering ruler from Tim Holtz. Again, I don't use it all the time, but there's certain times where I really like certain products. It's a good one. So, any questions? Sylvia thinks that the smooshing is a great idea. Well, thank you. It's not my original idea, but I think it's a game changer. So, yeah. I think I covered everything. I've made a big mess. I was going to say I'll bring the page back on, but let me get all this out of the way. So here is your layout side. And like I said, there's lots of room if you don't like the white space to bring more photos kind of down and over here. You could totally do that. There's lots of stickers left over and lots of pattern paper. So you can definitely expand on this if you want to. But I love how it turned out. Any questions? I'm just going to hang tight here for a second and see. Sometimes there's a little bit of a delay with things coming through. Bundles will be up for sale. We have a special shopping section on our online store under 2026 Moments and Memories. And then it's broken down by month. And so you're going to want to go into May, and your bundle will be there, and all the add-ons that we have available will be in there as well. We even have the stamp and die set in stock right now. If we do sell out, just reach out to us and we will get more in. But we do have it in stock. Nobody has any questions. You're all being very quiet tonight. Okay, well, if that's it, then I'm going to sign off, and you can shop for those bundles now. And we will see you again soon.